The latest one was a sophist who literally said that. What did he say about disabled individuals, Mr. Chip?
They weren't
That they're not
interesting. They were just
persons.
morons.
Mm.
Wait, what?
But yeah,
There was two people talking at once. Sorry. What did he say?
that intellectually challenged human beings are not persons.
Okay. Well, that's nice. Surely that's a compassionate person right there.
And the one
Yeah.
before that was a person who recognized that we do harm animals for unnecessary reasons, but they said that those reasons are good enough to cause them unnecessary harm.
The unnecessary reasons are good enough. Okay.
Yes.
Well, it makes sense so far. I don't know why you guys
Yeah.
are complaining.
Then he was like laughing really loudly, and then he didn't want to answer questions and just left.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's just like regular troll behavior. I love it when people don't waste our time and just like up front, just like show that they are trolls. It's great.
Well,
it's better than
you
the
would
outside.
think-
Sorry.
You would think, you would really hope that they are in fact trolling.
Yeah.
They have to be, right? Like to say such dumb shit.
Meanwhile, I
So-
triggered people on threads again. I wrote, beef is a shitty source of protein. Yeah, I said it.
That's all you
It's
have
so
to write.
That was brilliant, VPM. That was brilliant. I loved it.
I love triggering meters on the threads. It's so easy. And, you know, people who are like, no, are like, I can provide evidence for my claims, as usual, you know. And then a few did, right? So I figured, right, this is my theory, and I wrote it out to somebody. So once I write this kind of post, right, and that triggers literally everybody, and people are like, nuh-uh, I say, I can provide evidence for my claim. I can provide a more nuanced claim than this, right? And then I say, well, that must trigger cognitive dissonance immediately, right? That's just like human nature. That triggers cognitive dissonance when somebody provides, like, threatens providing evidence against somebody's belief, deeply held belief usually. And the most people at that point disengage. Right, they go and cope about their cognitive dissonance elsewhere. But some people do want to engage with it. And those are the heroes. And those are the people that get my huge list of, like, my actual nuanced position that, beef is an okay source of protein, but it also increases risk of cardiovascular disease, something that is what I have on my screen right now. And I provide links for everything. And there are better sources of protein with more protein in them anyways. And then I provide like, you know, like a chronometer beef compared to TVP or something like that. And people who actually engage with that have the chance to change their mind. But even people who are not willing to engage, cognitive dissonance is good. They will remember that terrible gut feeling, hopefully, right, if they're good people, for the rest of their life. That's what I'm trying to do. Trigger people. That's what I'm trying to do. I'm sorry. It must really hurt, though. I remember that hurty feeling. I don't feel it anymore because I don't hold like really deeply held beliefs anymore. Didn't think I could get here, but here we are.
Mr. Chip wants to like get these kind of people onto this VC as well.
Well,
He wants-
we can. We can.
We can.
Not really, actually. Threads are like people usually really resistant to wanting to discuss anything. That's why I've like find this way of talking to people, like really just like splitting people up into heroes and zeros. It's fantastic. Sorry for calling people
Heroes.
zeros.
Yeah.
Heroes.
Yeah.
I might go live also just to get
Yeah,
more
let's go.
people in here.
Yeah, trigger people, and then we can maybe go to my my Disco server. It's been a while since we had like a mini English hub, a mini VB in my Disco server as well.
Well,
You-
that's where the link is, yeah, for
Yeah,
mine. So,
yeah.
I think it's always great to start here, and as soon as you guys get some people flowing in, just go to your soy feed.
Yeah.
It's always nice.
Also, I love when people come into my chat and they start asking questions. I really like that. Yeah.
Oh, post! I gotta quickly show you. I got a book the other day.
The World of Philosophy. Yeah, you told me about it. It's been a while.
It came a few days ago.
Oh, wait. I thought you were reading a book already.
I was on the website, but then I was like, I really want a physical version of this because I really like it.
Okay, gotcha. All right, awesome. How's it good? I guess it's helpful, huh?
It's really good. Well, a lot of people, like we had the first guy who was really annoying, but he didn't know much about philosophy and how to structure an argument with propositions and the conclusion. So I was trying to show him that, like, you know, stuff like that. But overall, it teaches you a lot of things. And I'm only like 49 pages into a 540 something pages book. So there's a lot. Hello.
Hello.
Yeah.
What's up?
And
Goblin. How you doing? Goblin nugget. Is that like a chicken nugget? Is a goblin nugget? Are we slaughtering goblins now? Oh, nugget. They're gone.
you scared them away.
You know,
no,
like
I think
how people call it like dogs or cats nugget. Always weirds me out how people like call the dogs or cats like food names. Like even vegans do it sometimes. It's kind of weird to me though. I'm not like making a judgment call. I'm just saying it's weird to me like when people call dogs or cats tofu.
I feel judged.
I don't know.
I would call my cat Cabbage.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
Maybe
cute.
even
That's
possibly.
cute, actually.
I'm not saying I'm judging. I'm just saying that's like weird to me that we call these animals that we don't even fucking eat like food.
I know. Words are words.
Yeah,
I don't
I know.
really see a big issue with it.
What's the word?
But I definitely like. I had a discussion with someone about this. Also, hello, new people. I do feel like, let's say you're rescuing an animal, like from a shelter, and let's say the animal is literally an animal product, like a bacon. You're saving a pig where they literally got abused and like, you know, stuff like that. The name is bacon. I think it's good to use the name. I can definitely see inherent harm in like showing people or telling people like or advertising that name as a positive thing or stuff like that. There's definitely like some issues with it, but overall, if it doesn't harm the animal,
Yeah.
What you're talking about?
Hello. Talking
Oh,
about how
Left.
like some
no.
people call their pets like food names, and other people, the same people, also turn other animals into food for unnecessary food. That's what we're talking about. Are they gone? Or
No, Adam? Yes. Adam's here. Hello.
Adam's here. Yeah.
Hello.
So, Goblin Nugget, what's up? You got and rejoined. What's going on? What's going on? Oh, we can't hear you. If you're talking, we can't hear you. If Goblin Nugget. But Adam, you're like, hello. Sorry. Your mic is on anyway. Yeah. Just, noise. Fucking noise.
You gotta hate it.
My head just can't handle it. It's just me. I know, again, no judgment. It's just me.
I'm judging you. So how you judged me for calling animals tofu?
It's all right. you can do that.
I wonder what a goblin nugget is like.
I don't know.
Oh, he left. Brett.
Guys, can you yap for like a minute? I gotta go get my coffee.
Don't want to.
Okay, I'm
A
yapping
minute?
right now.
I say, I think
Yeah,
nugget
it's
is
ready.
just like
It's just I just need to go get it.
small.
I mean, it's a long time.
Nugget is just like small round thing. Not necessarily a food.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe it's goblin shit, a goblin nugget. I mean,
So the title of my Discord stream will be "Super Smart and Ultra Strong Vegan Challenges People."
have you had an upgrade?
I just, it's so funny how much they get triggered by this that I cannot not put it like that.
Vegans aren't smart. Vegans stupid.
It's funny. Okay.
Okay, minute over. That's it. Done. You can stop yapping. Joking.
Yeah, that's all set up now.
Yeah. Okay, it's all on you now, VPM.
I'll have to be quiet from now on.
Well, now I don't know what to yap about. I've yapped about my
well, there you
threads triggering. What else am I gonna say? What's up, Yas?
What?
The nuggets.
Yeah.
Hello, Yas.
Hey guys,
How you
good
doing?
morning.
Hello.
I'm doing great. How about you guys?
Yeah, not too bad. It's cold morning, but it's okay. What do you think about animals? Yes.
Animals.
Yeah.
It has souls, ain't it?
Animals have souls. Okay. Well, I don't know what a soul is necessarily, but what does that mean for an animal to have a soul?
It's mean we should feel sorry for them.
Okay.
Mhm.
Okay. Are you vegan then?
No,
Well,
it's
then,
hard.
what's your sorry worth if you pay for exploitation and slaughter of animals with souls? What do you think?
I mean, human are evil, no matter it was animal or another people.
I'm not.
I'm not
We
evil, yeah.
call. You are.
What's
Well, I
evil
don't
about
pay
me?
for that. Yeah.
Yeah, you are. Where are you from?
Chip can answer. I'm not gonna answer.
Sure.
Okay, I
I'm
don't
from
care.
a
I
magical
don't care.
fairy tale that lives under the
So
sea.
let me ask you something, bro.
Mom's vagina.
Chip Bob Runpan.
I
Do
actually
you
do live
care
under
about
the
people
sea
dying
level.
right there more than animals? Do you care about children dying?
Yes.
You do care.
Yeah, of course. I can't prevent it. I can prevent the slaughter of animals in my name.
Okay, you are pure soul.
Yeah. Like, like there are things that I can't stop and there are things that I can stop. I can personally not pay for exploitation and slaughter of animals for my products. And so I do that. I cannot do anything about children being killed anywhere else. I'm not causing it.
Okay, guys. God bless you.
Yeah, so why aren't you? You think animals have souls? You think we should take pity on them? Then why are you not applying that in your personal life? When you can, obviously.
I would.
No,
The future.
why? Why in the future? Why not now? Why not saying, I'm starting today, I'm going to apply my moral position to my daily life?
I don't know. I mean, I told you it's hard.
Yeah.
I need a schedule and
Sure. So let's
a
create a
lot
schedule
of
for you
things.
right now. Let's do it. I can provide help as well, right? We have help.
You would help me?
Well, we have programs that can help people apply their moral positions. So programs that help with the practical stuff, you know, like what to replace with what should be like in your diet, stuff like that. I assume you can very easily not buy leather next time you go shopping. I yes, also assume it's very easy for you to not go to a circus or a zoo. So that would be an application of a very easy application of morals of not exploiting animals, taking pity on animals. It's the food that is the hard one, right? You need to replace all the animal exploitation and animal non-pity foods with animal pity foods. So, you know.
All right.
Yeah.
Right.
So instead of eggs, buy chickpeas. Instead of beef and dairy or whatever, buy things like tofu, TVP, soy milk. Easy.
Isn't hard getting more weight by being vegetable?
Sorry, what's the question?
I want to get more weight. You know what I mean?
You want to get fatter or do you want to get more muscle?
Yeah.
Which one? Do you want to get fat or muscle?
Anyway,
Yeah.
both of them.
Okay,
I
sure.
want to be bigger.
Sure. So if you want to get fat, you just eat high calorie foods. And there are like very high calorie foods that are
Like,
vegan, like tahini,
rice.
halva, right? Those are very high calorie foods. That will get you fat. In order to get muscle, you eat that calorie food, you eat a little bit more protein through tofu, textured vegetable protein, seitan, like chickpeas, beans, lentils, things like that. And you lift weights. That's how you get muscle.
Okay. Thank you, guys.
Sure.
Appreciate that.
Sure. So can I give you like just in case you want to look into it, can I give you like a few links that are helpful in going in applying your ethics?
Please. Yeah, because I want to go right now. Send me anything.
Sure. Wait, what is the name? Sorry. Yes, almost.
Yes.
Okay. So, well, I'll give you some links. If you have questions, we're here to answer them.
Okay, thank you, God.
Sure.
I'll come back.
I mean, I know it's nothing. I know this is just a waste of time, but at least we gave the link. What else are you gonna do? Mr. Ad hominem entered the VIB. Are we here to fight? Are we here to have like an actual discussion, Mr. Ad hominem? Are you here?
No, wait a second. I'm busy at the moment.
Okay.
I'm working with my kettles.
You're working with your kettles?
Mr. Rage Bait.
Yeah.
The rage bait.
Oh, I thought kettles, like kettle to heat up water.
There's a temp.
No.
It's about 20 kettles in my kitchen right now.
I'm also working with my kettles.
Can you give me the permission to open my camera? I can show you my kettles.
No.
And also it's like if you're using the word, right, and if you're trying to trigger us, use it properly.
No, I'm not trying to trigger you guys.
So cattle.
Kettlebells.
Yeah, so you have cattle, C-A-T-T-L-E. You mean, but that you just mean cows, right? So cattle.
Yeah, just cows.
Yeah, so cattle doesn't need an S at the end. There, I gave you just an English lesson right there.
Oh, thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Yeah, I'm sure you do. Okay, let's move on to somebody else. Oh, we have nobody else. That's okay. We can just be quiet. That's also good.
I'm good at quiet.
We can also yap about some interesting, facts that we've learned not too long ago. But, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, not every rage bait should be addressed.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe I should, you know what the 40-year-old vegan said? I should have like
Uh-oh.
a sign. What you're doing, Felek, is like he says it's like really blows up live streams. Have to have like if you have a sign, then it's like.
And he
That's all.
was saying not even show yourself on camera though.
I think for you, VPM, you would definitely benefit a lot from a green screen.
I have
sometimes-
tried it in the past. It's not. I can do it again. I have all the accoutrement for it, especially when I'm wearing like a black hoodie, right? I'm doing right now. It wouldn't like reflect on my hair and stuff. I can't do it. But
no, I mean like as you said, we're a 40-year-old vegan. Sometimes you can on the green screen you can write a message.
yeah, well, you can just get a whiteboard as well.
Whatever works for you, you know.
Yeah.
Because I'm thinking for you, it's like live streaming would be pretty good.
Yeah.
But the public definitely whiteboard.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm I've tried green screen in the past. It's not worth the squeeze. It is like a setup. The setup is like 10-15 minutes. I don't know if it's worth it. I have like all the stuff is standing right here. I have like two huge poles on which I can put the thing up.
I see.
What's up, Kushia?
So I think Rick from The Walking Dead. I think
Yeah.
that's his name. Remember?
Ryan Gosling as well. Well, whatever. Let us know what you would like us to call you, please. Rick from The Walking Dead.
No, yeah, I'm literally Ryan Gosling.
Sorry?
I'm just Ryan Gosling.
Ryan Gosling, what's up?
My wife left me. My wife left me, man.
Damn.
Okay. What's
Yeah,
up?
this isn't a dating site.
It's a blah 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 blah. Oh, they're gone.
Blah 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 blah.
There was somebody that the name was blah blah blah.
I know, it just sounds funny.
I don't know.
It's like I'm not even looking at the screen, and you're like, "Hello, blah blah blah."
Yeah.
That's funny. Hello.
You know what I can try? Instead of my top thing, I can just like write out. I can write out your thing.
Oh, my thing.
Yeah, I can just like write out what you're saying. I can open Excalibur and just like write the thing. What is it? Animal farming should be illegal. Change my mind.
I do like the colors as well. Make illegal red.
Mm-hmm. We'll see. We're gonna try things today. Gonna try things. I guess let's.
Hello, Orca. Oh, Orca. Have you watched that movie about the orca in the SeaWorld that died or something? Pretty sad. Orca left.
So how do I make it bigger and shit? Oh, there you go.
We have posts for that.
Large. Yeah, I'm working on it.
I'm done.
No, you're good. You're good.
I was making a joke. You didn't get it.
Felek is being spicy.
I'm sorry, I'm not listening.
No, it's fine. It's fine.
So it can't be, you can't make just one word in a sentence a certain color. You have to like remove it and then put it in a different.
Oh.
That's okay. I can line it up. Maybe.
Maybe.
There you go. And then
Wait, right.
Why do you that animal farming should be illegal?
VPN, would you like to take over?
No, you start, please.
Huh?
I'm working on this.
Okay. Yeah, because farming includes, especially animal farming, includes farming of victims who never, have not done anything, who are basically subjective to.
Yeah, I agree. Like the US farming type of style is very cruel to
Oh
animals.
no! I'm saying every single animal farm should be illegal.
No, I saw an animal farm in Bangladesh. They have very large fields, and they don't kill cows for like meat. They keep them and feed them and for milk, not for and they
Yeah,
do
that's
it by
still,
hand, not even machines.
still
And I
bad.
thought that was very nice.
Yeah, I think it's still bad because they want to enslave animals to extract their bodily liquids. I'm completely against that.
But I saw that they were willingly coming to the farmers to give milk.
Do you know the issue of the dairy industry?
Huh?
Do you know the issues with farming individuals for their body liquids?
No, I did not.
Think about it. If I said to you, I have this female and I'll extract her body liquids, how does that sound like?
Kind of bad. I agree with you. It's bad.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, so maybe that shouldn't happen.
Yeah, it should be illegal.
Voila. Okay, so I have a question for you.
Yeah.
Because you agree that it should be illegal, are you gonna be vegan?
Still unsure about that. I'm not gonna be a vegan. I can be a vegetarian.
So vegetarian diet includes exploitation and
Yes, I know. I'm still doubtful about milk and eggs. So
but
I'm
I just
gonna
told
think about
wait, I
that.
just told you about milk. How are you doubtful still
Yeah,
about milk if I told you about it?
yeah. I don't know about that. And can you give me some resources alternative of milk and eggs?
Of course. There's a huge amount of resources I can give to you. I'll put this in the chat. Definitely go through this list of different things. And it should have all of the alternatives to milk as well, if you're interested. Are you going to check it out? Damn. Hello? Feels bad, man.
Too many resources, Felix, too many.
Too many.
So look at my sign. What do you think?
Look at it.
Look at it. So pretty.
Oh, I like it. Not enough arrows.
Need more arrows? Okay.
No.
Yeah. No.
I think just without the arrows and just make it a little, like, put it above your head should be enough. Maybe the font be more bold, I guess.
It's just bold.
That's how.
It's pretty bold. It's very bold.
Okay. Like
So-
super bold.
So too many arrows? Are those too many arrows? Is that what you're trying to tell me?
Well, I think it's fine. I don't know.
I think you should space them out evenly. Like they're clumped on one side. You need to have arrows like from every side, right?
Shit.
It depends how they want to do it, I guess.
No.
No, I want to
not-
point out illegal specifically. And to change my mind. I really want a dog stack. Really, really do. Have been thinking about it for days. So if somebody can change my mind, I think they should.
Mm-hmm.
Find a dog.
What,
It's not moving for some reason. Oh, there you go.
What kind of dog? Because I think that matters, right? Like certain dogs deserve more moral consideration than other dogs.
I think
The one-
Chihuahuas are annoying, so why not? Like Chihuahua dog. It's gonna be a small steak, but who cares?
Wait, which dog makes caviar? Because I want to eat them.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think I've felt the smell of burnt dog, and this might sound gross, but it smelled good, like a barbecue. That was not what they weren't having. Dog barbecue. They were burning up stray dogs, but it smelled like good to me. Somehow, no one was eating the dogs; they were just burning them.
What's up, Toyota?
I want some.
That sounds terrifying.
Doggo bolognese.
What's up, N76? What's up, Toyota?
Damn. Oh, wait, what?
Somebody convinced me to not eat a dog steak, for the love of God. Really want one. What's up, Steve?
Wrong. Melon Steve?
I already got people in my chat saying stuff like, don't worry, I'm going to eat meat for you or something like that.
Oh, get them into our server. Let's go.
I'm
really
trying
want
to
to talk
tell
to
them,
those
hey,
people.
join the link. Come on. Don't be afraid. We don't bite. I mean, you know,
I do
we're
bite.
nice.
Speak,
We're nice
for,
people.
speak
yourself.
for yourself.
Yeah. I definitely bite. Oh, a delicious dog steak. That's what I bite.
I have somebody saying that real men eat meat. So I guess I'm not a real man then, right? What am I then?
Cheap. Calm your vagina down.
What the fuck?
Sorry.
But
I
they
do
didn't
like
claim it's a.
vaginas.
They never
I-
claim it. They never claimed Chip is a woman either.
Yeah, what the hell? Are you just assuming my gender? How dare you?
Are they
No,
saying?
you're just not a real man. You know, you're a fictional man. You're like
Man,
Yeah,
at
I'm
least-
You're
at least
magical,
they're
AI.
like really supportive of LGBTQ, right? I mean, dating gender is a spectrum. If someone can be more of a man than someone else.
Well, these people, yeah, they're very supportive. They see me looking like a man, and they're saying that I'm not a man. So I appreciate it. You're right. I'm not. I'm probably somewhere around gender neutral, but I appreciate it.
Oh, real men are weak. Change my mind.
What is a real man?
Everybody knows
We can
that
talk
real
about that.
men are months, not weeks.
Yeah, we can
A
talk
month, not
you're-
weeks.
They're basically saying that you're only a real man if you exploit, abuse, and kill the vulnerable and innocent.
Mm-hmm.
You're
Kinda
only a
stupid
real
to
man
me.
if you died in a war, else you're a pussy. Go die in a war, else you're not a real man.
I mean, like, if
Oh my god.
if what you put in your mouth defines, if you putting meat in your mouth defines your manhood, then gay people are more manly. Gay men are more manly than straight men.
Can I just quickly say about the war thing?
Yeah.
Imagine, like, unironically, imagine if someone told you you're only a real man if you die in a war for Trump.
Well, I bet
That's
somebody's
literally something that
fussing it up.
I can imagine people saying.
Oh my goodness.
To all the
I like
people in
the-
my chat, I seem to be getting a lot of you. Can you just join the link if you want to have a conversation with me? You know, we can talk about how you feel inferior, and unless you consume somebody else's flesh, we can talk about this inferiority complex you have if you want.
You can literally destroy a vegan live. Imagine.
Mm.
And Chip, you post your live, and PMM, you post your live on your YouTube, right? So if you get destroyed in a debate, it's gonna be there.
Forever.
It's gonna be on 2 channels at this point.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
has
a
the
man in a
guts?
A man in a keyboard warrior is not a real man. Change my mind. Only a man who voice debates is a man. Change my mind.
Come on. You're gonna have a lot of change in my mind.
I don't know. I'm trying a bunch of stuff.
Mhm.
Animal farming should be illegal. Change my mind.
At that point, might as well be change my list.
Maybe I should change my text also, because my text now says, "Why are you not vegan?" But maybe it should say that real men are vegan. That will trigger a lot of people.
Yeah.
Oh no, I got a better one for you. Real men don't eat beef. That's gonna be personal for some people.
I really don't wanna go down the conversation of food though, because a lot of people who
Oh,
are in
yeah.
my chat right now, they think it's about food or something. That's why they say, "Well, it's about eating. You need to put somebody's body part in your mouth and chew it, otherwise you're not a man."
Yeah, but you wanna go down the gender discussion? Why?
No, I don't.
Yeah.
That's why I'm not gonna change it. Yeah.
What's up,
I think-
Hebian? How you doing?
What's up, my friend? I'm good. Thank you. How are you?
Not too bad. Are you vegan?
Yes, I am vegan.
Ah. What does that mean?
I became vegan 100% last few months.
Oh, that's
Because
cool.
I was like a vegan, but the only thing I eat belong to animals is egg. I was eating eggs and plants.
Uh-huh.
My English is not very good, so
No, it's okay.
what you have
You're doing great. So,
thank you.
in the past few months, you became 100% vegan?
Yes,
So no more animal exploitation and slaughter in your name?
yes.
Okay. And what made you change your mind? Or to become like fully vegan?
Because why you going to eat animals, kill animals and eat them, and you are going to have anything you need in the plants?
Okay, and why wouldn't you want to kill an animal though?
Because they have a brain. They have a brain. I'm studying in neuroscience, and I know a little bit about the cortex, especially in the mammals. And they have feelings. They have consciousness. They have a
that's
lot
cool.
of things that.
Sorry.
Yeah.
So since you study neuroscience, a lot of people say, well, plants are also can feel pain. Can you elucidate on that? Can you tell us a little bit about plants feeling pain?
No. Plants, they don't feel pain. They have like some chemical reflexes, but it has nothing to do with the pain.
Nice. And how do we know that?
Because there is no nervous system. The nervous system is the response in English is the responsible of the pain. Is the nervous system.
Nervous system is responsible for the
Yes.
pain. Was that
Yes.
triggering to your chat, Chip? I hope so. Well, thank you, Habian. Maybe we can give Habian a vegan role, whoever's around, if that's possible. Or do we need like more questioning?
I would give him. I would normally say if you sit around a little bit and you engage in some, conversations, I would definitely be more than happy to give it to you.
Okay, awesome.
So Mr. Chip found a victim, so they went to soy feed.
Oh, really? Oh, maybe I'm gonna go to save it as well. And if they found a victim, I want to see it.
Wait, I'm friends with Hebian for some reason. Have we spoken?
Yes, my friend, we did speak. So you.
Okay, wait, let me see.
Oh, the person that Chip is talking to, their name can be phonetically. I think their name could look like Jew, so that's gonna be interesting. Yeah, indeed. As a Jew, I'm gonna go see what's happening. See ya.
Yeah, yep. Keep an eye on that.
It's gonna sound super dumb. It's gonna sound.
Okay. Well, let's before before I provide you maybe with solutions or something, I just need to understand because do you think that the taste? I'm guessing it's taste, right? That you like out of cheese.
Yeah.
Do you think that the taste of cheese justifies the forceful impregnation, the killing of the cows, and all that?
No.
No, no, it does not. But you do understand that through your actions, you are saying that it does, right?
Yeah.
So you're essentially just like trying to ignore the issue, just trying to ignore because you like the taste of it.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know. But I don't know. I think that I should go vegan.
I mean, I think you should, right? You seem to
Yeah.
think that it's wrong to exploit animals. You say you don't like what the dairy and meat industries, you said, are doing to
Yeah.
animals. Yeah.
Yeah.
Let me ask you this. Do you think that if we did it in a quote unquote nice way, so that means that if they're in a small farm where the farmer says they're taking care of them, would that be okay?
Well, I mean, no, because no. At the end of the day, I mean, no matter how nice you're treating the animals, I guess they're still like forcing them to, give birth and stuff and killing them,
Yeah, that is true. At the end of the day, you are indeed doing that. And we obviously don't need to do that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Can I ask where do you live? Do you feel comfortable sharing that?
Oh, Wisconsin.
Also in US, Wisconsin. Okay. I mean, I don't know how many cheese alternatives per se you have, but you can always just make some yourself. There's a lot of easy recipes and they can be pretty cheap. But
Oh,
you
okay.
know, it seems like I want to discuss values because generally being vegan is about values. You seem to have the values there, but you don't follow through. So let me ask you that if, for instance, I say, yeah, women should be respected. Women should have their rights. Nobody should treat them like objects or such. But then I go around and I pay for women to be treated like objects. Would that be okay of me? Would that make me? Would I stand up to my values that I claim I have?
No.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I don't know. I guess like this isn't really an excuse, but I live with my parents and they're like weird. They're like anti-vegan. Like they're one of those people that think that like because when I was like young, I wanted to like I wanted to be vegan and they like didn't let me. They're like, "Oh, you're gonna be all malnourished and stuff." Like I don't know. They're very weird about that. And like all the stuff they cook has meat and like dairy in it and stuff. But I mean, that's not like an excuse. Like I can like make my own food and everything.
Do you consume meat? You don't consume meat, right? As far as I understood.
Like, no, not really anymore. I used to, but not anymore.
And do your parents consume meat?
Yeah.
Yeah, so you're already eating something else other than what they are, right?
Mm-hmm.
Do they have a problem with you not eating meat?
Yeah, like, because sometimes like they'll make pasta with like meat sauce and I just won't have the meat sauce. And then they'll be like, "Oh, why aren't you having any? Are you getting enough protein?" And I'm like, "Well, I eat a lot of like beans and nuts and stuff, and I mean, I'm fine." But every time like I don't have the meat with whatever we're eating, then they're like very concerned.
Yeah, like we have resources. I think Postmortem just dropped right now in the chat some resources specifically on how to go vegan. There's
I guess
vegan
I was just looking
recipes.
for advice, like where to start, pretty much.
Yeah, well, I would say Challenge 22. If you open that link, there is another link there towards Challenge 22. I think that's your best bet of starting because it's essentially you put your name and your email address there, and for 22 days they send you recipes. They put you in a group that's with people from around your area, and they they send you recipes and they help you address any form of concern that you have with being on a plant-based diet. So sounds like kind of what you need right now.
Yeah. Okay, thank you.
Yeah, no worries. So I'll ask you this one question before, like, how many more animals should be put into, like, should be exploited for you going further from now on?
For me, none.
Yeah.
Or well,
Yeah,
for
that means
none, ideally, but that is unfortunately not the world that we live in.
yeah, for everyone it should be none, right? But we're only responsible and we can only control the actions that we do, and we're only responsible for our own actions. So that means
Yeah.
for you specifically, you can actually choose to make that happen by going vegan, right? That means not throwing away the products that you have now, but rather never demanding an animal product again.
Right. Okay. Okay. Well, thank you.
Well, thank you for stopping by. You can, if you want, you can stick around, but there's nobody here who's not vegan to have conversations with, so you might go back to the other room.
I mean,
okay.
Chip, what we can do, like, if you commit to becoming vegan, we can just give you the vegan role and we can help you out there while you, quote unquote, transitioning towards veganism. You can just ask questions there. We can just provide you with a vegan role if that's what you want.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, you mean in the English hub?
No, in here.
Oh, in here. That's cool. Yeah.
Yeah, I can just provide them with a vegan role, and if they need help, they can just ask for help. That's it.
That's cool. Yeah.
Okay. So once you,
Thanks, guys.
yeah. So just an FYI, once you leave this VC, you will no longer see it because it's separate sections. So you will have the vegan VCs and the vegan general pop questions. Okay.
Okay.
Cool. Well, good luck. Best of luck. We do have a few teenagers there as well who live with their parents, so you can ask them as well a bunch of questions.
Okay.
Awesome.
Yay. Yeah, I've really been like, I mean, I guess kind of always thinking about it, but I've been like really giving it more thought lately, and I feel like I just stumbled across this stream and I was like kind of a sign, I guess.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
It's your day. It's your
Heck
day.
yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, thank you.
Best of luck.
Yeah, and don't sweat it, by the way. It's easy. Like, I don't think any of us have had any issues. The hardest part is just... Yeah, go on.
For me, it is pretty easy to avoid me. Like, I don't struggle with that at all.
Perfect. I guess, as you said, maybe cheese is a little bit more difficult, but you see that in time, like... So maybe you won't find a good cheese replacement. There's some pretty good cheeses that you can make with cashews. But in time, you'll find... Yeah, it's very easy too. Like, it's cheap and easy to do. Like, you just have to blend them, keep them soaked in water, and then blend them. I think if you ask ChatGPT, even they'll give you a recipe.
Okay. Yeah. I feel like it's one of those things that it would be hard for me to go without for a while. But like, I don't know, after like not drinking soda or fast food for a while, it feels gross after a while. You know what I mean? So I feel like cheese would be one of those things that I like a lot right now. But once I start to get off of it, then I'm like, why did I even eat this?
I can give you like an actual example from my own life of that actually happening. So I went vegan in 2015 or so. And yeah, and at first I wasn't like as strong in my morals. So I cheated once, right? So like 6 months after going vegan, after being like completely vegan in my everything, in all of my actions, I just like met up with friends at this like, you know, whatever, it's at this event. And like 3 out of 5 of those friends are like ex-vegans, quote unquote. So like ex-plus plant-based people, whatever. And I was like, well, and they were going for pizza. And I was like, well, I'll just like, you know, I'll just eat pizza with them once, you know. And as I was sitting there eating this pizza, and it had like mozzarella on it, you know, it had like 2 cheeses. So the regular pizza cheese and also like mozzarella cheese on top as well. And I was eating it and I was like, fuck, it's not disgusting or anything, but it's just like not worth it at all. Not worth betraying my morals, not even a little bit. And
Okay. Yeah, that makes me feel a lot better.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, thank you guys so much.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you for dropping by. Yeah, and
Yeah.
you have the link to the server. You can subscribe to my channel if you want, and keep coming back because it does help, right? To see a lot of the times we are very much a victim of the people we surround ourselves with, and if you want to do what's right towards animals, I think it's nice to surround yourself also with people who do the same.
Okay. Well, thanks, guys. Have a good day.
Yeah. Yeah, you too.
Bye.
Bye. Chip, anybody else who wants to come in, or what do you think?
I mean, let me see the members here. No, I so far no. So I guess we should move into the other one.
Okay, let's go.
Yeah.
We back. We are back.
Hello.
Hello.
I think there's another one. It's really cute.
What's up, Kendall? Are we talking, Kendall?
How did that conversation go, by the way?
The person came in pretty convinced, so.
Yeah, yeah. They just needed some help. Yeah.
Okay. Interesting.
The piggy's cute, Ruslan. Oh my god, that is such a fun, Ruslan. That is such a. I'm gonna add that to favorites. That is so cute. Holy shit. The piggy one who like closes the laptop. Fuck, that is so cute. I'm gonna show it to my two people on my stream.
Yeah, we get it. You don't like the parrots. You hate birds.
What do you mean I hate birds? I love parrots. Just I don't want to take care of them. I don't want to take care of any animals.
I was just kidding.
What? You hate human babies?
That's what it feels like to the carnists when we go, well, this one like belief of yours is kind of stems from another belief of yours. What? Humans are the same as animals? Yeah.
Also, I want to point this out. There's a difference between I hate and I don't care.
Yeah.
Many non-vegans say that they don't care about animals, but if they didn't care about them, they wouldn't do anything to them.
Yeah. I don't hate
Right?
animals either. I love looking at pretty animals. I just don't want to take care of them because I don't want to take care of beings. I can barely take care of myself. Like, that's enough for me.
People can literally say that they don't really care about non-human animals, but that doesn't mean that they should go out of the way to harm them. Like, like it's literally hate. You have to hate animals in order to kill them.
Yeah. Miso is cute as fuck, though. So
Especially given that they say, well, no, I love animals, but then these animals, fuck them. I'll cut their throats off right now. So it's an especially hateful position to say that, well, you were born this specific animal, therefore, you deserve to die.
This kind of this kind of goes to what I was also saying, Chip. I hate when people say I love these animals and I give them all of the hugs and I don't care about these animals, therefore I slit their throat. Like, you don't, no, you don't. It's not that you don't care about these animals. You fucking hate them.
What's up, George Droid? What do you think about that? Oh, they're gone. Oh, no, they're here. George Droid, what do you think about what Felix just said?
I'm not sure if they are true or not, so try to side of
Not
caution.
sure.
So would you, George Droid, would you say that you hate animals?
What about Kendall? Kendall.
Hey guys.
Oh, I have
How you doing, y'all?
Cool, Joe.
one troll
Do
listening
you
to
hate
me.
animals,
Cool.
Kendall?
No, no. No.
So are you
The
vegan?
way I saw, I'm not vegan, but I'm a vegetarian. I eat some products of animals like eggs, milk, but it's a kind of stage hard for me to get there. Veganism is so expensive here in my country.
Can I
So
can I just quickly ask, just for the conversation, do you think you should be vegan?
if I should be vegan, the way I see the veganism is the next jump generation of the humanity, because we like humanity is destroying all the world. So the food is probably the
So what about my micronutrients like B12? So that's actually like the only micronutrient that you can't get on a plant-based diet if you carefully like plan your diet out. So we take a supplement. In my case, I don't care about planning my diet. I'm just taking a multivitamin to make sure that I get all the, just to make sure, right? Because I have checked once in a while, I'll put my diet into a chronometer and see there, right? And in chronometer, it shows up that even before I add a multivitamin, I'm hitting most of my marks. I've been doing this for long enough, but at least in the beginning and also now when I'm really like not in much of a position to take care of like a well-planned diet, I just take a multi and be done with it. And it includes B12. And once in a while, I'll like macro dose B12, like take 1 gram of B12 just to make sure that, because it's like a very important nutrient, right? So, which is very important for mental health. Yeah, it's important for all kinds of stuff, for neurological issues, for mental health. In a lot of people, it becomes like a real issue, and that's not a vegan issue. That's actually like a lot of, like, not a lot, but like vegans are more susceptible to it if they don't take a supplement. But generally speaking, meat eaters can become B12 deficient as well, because it's not only how much of that micronutrient you get, but also how much of it absorbs. And it could be that it's just like somebody has like a really poor absorption for whatever reason, and they can get B12 deficient. I even like read a few posts, like anecdotally, of carnivore dieters who only eat meat, right? Only eat meat and butter or whatever, getting B12 deficiency because the absorption sucks. So they just got themselves into a pickle, right? Supplements don't match or come close to real food source. In what way, I'm not sure. Like, I'm not sure what you're saying, because I'm not B12 deficient. I've been vegan for 11 years, and I've been relatively consistently taking multi-supplement, and my B12 levels are fine. So I'm not sure what you're saying there, right? That they don't match or come closer to real food source. So if supplement, a B12 supplement specifically, has a very large quantity, its absorption percentage is very low, but that doesn't mean that you can't get enough from a supplement. That's indeed why they increase the amount of B12 in a supplement. That's what's good about supplements. That's why supplements are actually superior to making sure that your nutrition works fine, rather than relying on like foods, because you can put a proper amount that takes care of low absorption and stuff like that. You can put an increased amount of a supplement, of a micronutrient into a supplement, and then you're definitely making sure that you're getting enough. But if you allow me 1 second, I do have on my phone a folder where I keep like my where is it? My my blood tests, right? And here's my vitamin B12 right there. It's in a normal range. So when you're saying it doesn't work, I'm not sure what you're saying, right? It's worse in what way? When did you become vegan, and what were the diets before that? I was like actually a crazy meat eater. Like, I was one of those people going to a restaurant and saying, if I'm paying for something, then it better have meat on it. So I would never order anything vegetarian in a restaurant even, right? If I'm paying for something, it better have meat in it. That was me. And I went vegan in 2015 while chewing on meat. That's the crazy part of my story. I just made the connection between my compassion towards one animal and applied it to the animal that I was eating at the time. I'm like, if I pity this cat who's hurt outside, how am I paying for an animal very comparable to a cat to be stabbed to death in my name for my money, right? So I moved the plate away and have been vegan since. So that's my story. But yeah, 11 years. It's been 11 years. And Marisa, actually, I've changed my mind on that. I think 1,000 micrograms twice a week is a bit too much. A smaller dose would be better because 1,000 micrograms might actually, like, if taken habitually, might actually put you a little bit at risk. We shouldn't take that risk. So if you can find a multi... Yeah, no, like if you can find a multi that has like 25 micrograms or like a separate pill that has 25 micrograms, that would be better. Don't stress. I also don't want to make recommendation because who the fuck am I? I'm just saying something worth thinking about, just like grabbing a fortified soy milk and a multi that has 2 to 4 micrograms to 25 micrograms. That would be the best. But don't get stressed about this. Is what I'm saying, right? Stress kills you faster than any supplement would. Just might put you at risk a little bit there of an increased, like tiny increased risk of something. But yeah, definitely, there you go. This is the way, guys. Fortified breakfast cereals have plenty, saved lots of quality of life. Yeah. Fortified cereals are actually, because they're fortified, incredibly helpful. 1,000, well, it's not milligrams, it's micrograms. I'm hoping milligrams would be one. Oh, is it milligrams or micrograms? Give one sec, I'll see. Because I do have, oh, that's not it, sorry. Because I do have like this 1,000, yeah, it's micrograms. So mcg, it's 1 gram, right? It puts you at if you're a man or a smoker or an ex-smoker, it puts you at higher risks of developing lung cancer. But like the evidence is sparse, incredibly sparse, like only 1 lit review, 1 or 2 or something like that. So, but you know, why take a chance? So I would say, so hold on. So I've been actually using like this Deva, not sponsored, I promise, this Deva multi, and it has, if I remember correctly, like 4 or 5 micrograms of B12. It's written incredibly small. So give me 1 sec, let me just zoom in on that and I'll tell you. So this B12 has, this is 6 micrograms. This with like my consumption of soy milk, fortified soy milk. For the win, I think. And you know, like once in a while, I'll take this one. It only increases the risk if taken habitually. So, you know, and I have taken it habitually in the past, and I am an ex-smoker, so I probably, you know, should avoid. Does the trick, yeah. 6, that's a big boy, yeah. And because it's like a small amount, it actually has higher absorption rate, so it gets you probably like to 1.5 micrograms, something like that, when you only need 2 to 3 micrograms. So getting your soy milk in or cereal the way Jeremy does, fantastic, it's really cool. Let's go back Let's go back to the VC.
So I'm one. Let's be clear. I'm one people in a planet with 8 billion people. So if I don't process the milk, I don't really save no one, because there's a fucking industry make a lot of money with that. So I can't stop them. I can
Well,
literally
wait a minute.
do nothing.
Wait a minute. First of all, that's factual. First of all, we're not asking you to stop them. If I tell somebody to not commit a crime, it doesn't mean that that person will stop all crime. It just means that they won't commit a crime. What I'm asking you right now is not to stop the industry, is for you to stop committing your support of the industry. Or in other words, for you to no longer be responsible for the exploitation of these animals. Because yes, it does translate to at least one animal per year being saved, at least one.
So if you goes with this way, you need to think about it, how the things around you, because everything is there's in your house cause some kind of sufferment about one animal. So
it's not one animal, Kendall. Just to be clear, I said at least one animal, first of all, and I'm trying to be indulgent over here, okay? In reality, it may be a lot more, but it doesn't really matter, because at the end of the day, you are presented with a choice right now. One choice will exploit an innocent animal and one doesn't. If something that I'm buying within my house, if something that I'm doing is, and I have a choice between exploiting an innocent animal or not, and you're presenting that choice for me, then the only thing that I can say or do is I will choose the option that does not exploit an animal. Not try to find a justification, well, you're not perfect. No, that's not the point.
I go for it. And this is why I'm vegetarian, because I'm not perfect.
Ooh,
well, you see, you say, well, imagine if I said, well, this is why this is why I only beat up women, because I'm not perfect, right? This is why I only beat up women. Otherwise, I would have beaten up, like, I used to beat up men and women. Now I only beat up women. I'm not perfect. Imagine saying that. That's ridiculous.
It's not ridiculous, because you are saying that if I stopped consume milk, you are saying that the fact I consume milk, I'm committing a crime. I'm support that crime. But
no,
if you mind,
I never said that.
If you mind that all products that is in your house, you need to cause an impact.
Kendall, what did I say? Kendall, what did I say?
It's hard to see. It's hard though.
Okay, so I explained to you very simple, Kendall. You are presented with a choice in front of you. One can exploit an animal and one doesn't. What justifies you choosing the one that exploits animals?
I'm a vegetarian, how I say, so I not go for it.
Well, it sounds like you do, because I just explained to you that when you buy dairy products, which you claim that you do, animals are exploited for you. So I'm asking you right now, if you have the option to not do that, how can you morally justify doing that?
Yeah, the same way why you eat lettuce, the way you
Kendall,
eat
how is
tomato.
my actions, Kendall, how are my actions morally justifying your actions? I want to understand. How is me choosing to buy or do whatever it is that I do? Maybe, in fact, you know what? Maybe even if I go out right now and just start kicking people, how is that justifying your choice of exploiting animals?
I'm saying you're supporting the industry though. You are supporting industry too.
Can you explain to me how I'm supporting the industry and provide me with an alternative?
Do you eat some tofu?
Yeah, how am I supporting animal agriculture for tofu?
Lettuce.
How am I supporting animal agriculture for eating lettuce?
Lettuce. Do you know how much the
incoming crop deaths
and the pest control need to
Kendall, is that animal agriculture?
Kendall,
is that animal agriculture? Kendall, is that animal agriculture?
What?
Kendall, the production of plant-based products, the production of lettuce, as you call it, right? Is that animal agriculture?
Do you believe that this product don't cause...
Kendall, I understand that my question somehow meant in your head that you need to ask a question and not answer it, but that's not going to work that way. So I'm going to ask you yet again. Is producing cabbage a product of animal agriculture?
I'm asking you one thing. If you produce lettuce...
Kendall, I really am not interested until you answer my question. How could I grant you that I'll answer your question if you can't answer any question that I ask of you? How can we have a decent conversation when I try to ask you a question 3 times, you just dodge it and move to something else? And now I'm even joining your little experiment of moving to something else, and I'm asking you a question in that direction so that we can move back to the actual subject. So, is me buying lettuce supporting animal agriculture?
You ask me one question, 10 questions, and I'm asking you one question, you can't answer me?
What is your question?
Do you really believe that the products like lettuce, tomatoes, carrots, that products don't cause suffering for animals? Do you really believe that?
No. What were we talking about, Kendall? We were talking about exploitation. Do the products like carrots exploit animals?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, explain to me what is exploitation, Kendall.
Pest control.
What is exploitation, Kendall?
Exploitation has a specific definition to it. We're asking about the definition and how it intertwines with vegetables.
Also, like, just to make it clear, Kendall, because you started off by saying that you care about animals, that's why you're vegetarian. Then I explained to you that when you buy dairy products, animals are still exploited for you. You also, since I'm assuming you don't only eat dairy products or eggs, you also eat other plants. So what you do right now is saying, well, when you eat plants, you exploit animals. You see, you're doing this thing where maybe your ego is hurt or something. I don't know what it is, but Kendall, I'm not here to hurt your ego, man. I'm here to fight for the rights of animals. And I'm explaining to you right now that one action that you're doing, which is buying dairy products, is indeed supporting, demanding the exploitation, abuse, and slaughter of innocent animals. Why be so butthurt as to start navigating this very simple issue in a way that doesn't really even go anywhere? Why not just say, yes, you're right, I'm doing something shitty, but I don't know how to stop? Why do you choose to go down this route of, well, you're not perfect? I never claimed that I am. I'm just saying that something you're doing, which is wrong, according to you, you can choose to no longer do it.
It's not wrong for my philosophy because I'm vegetarian. So vegetarians do it, consume milk. I'm not veganism. I'm not vegan.
So you exploit
I say
animals.
that like you exploit animals.
I don't exploit any animal, no.
Yeah, of course you do it.
So what is exploitation? Okay, I guess we have to go down the stupid route. Kendall, what is exploitation?
Exploitation.
If you don't know, you can say you don't know, by the way.
There's a big difference between exploiting an animal and defending your food, right? Like when farmers use pesticides, let's say, and eventually kill some animals, they're just defending their food. It's like if a human enters your home and wants to rob everything from you, and you're trying to tell them to leave, and if they refuse to, and even, basically, you're basically allowed to defend your things even with deadly force if required, right?
But obviously, Kendall is just butthurt right now. His ego is hurt because he consumes vegetables. Because the animals that you are forcing into slaughterhouses the animals that you are forcing sexual exploitation, all these animals that you are taking their babies away from, you're taking babies away from mothers, and you're doing all this while at the same time, these animals are fed plants. In fact, they are fed considerably more plants than I would ever eat and than you would ever eat in the same amount of time. So in that process that you claim that, well, animals are killed for pesticides, way more animals are killed for pesticides when you consume an animal product because that animal had to be fed plants.
Yeah, and eventually the farming should be done by people who actually care about animals, right? Like vegans. And then we can have things like organic farming and vertical farming and so on, so that no animals are killed, right? But for that to happen, we need more vegans. And you can even help us do that by turning vegan yourself and maybe convincing someone else as well. Or you can just say, well, whatever, I don't give a fuck about animals after all. And then you're just a hypocrite, right?
Yeah, the animals are not helped if we're advocating for like nobody harm any animals even in self-defense or in property and like defending crops, like just no animals can be harmed. If we say that's what veganism is, then no one's going to be able to become a vegan, and the animals are not going to be helped for that. If we draw the line at exploitation, and I think it's very important that you understand a distinction between exploitative and non-exploitative harm. If we draw the line at exploitation now, then we'll allow the world to grow towards a more veganic world, and then crops won't involve harm or exploitation. They won't involve exploitative or non-exploitative harm. But right now, we draw the line at exploitative harm, not non-exploitative harm. It wouldn't help the animals if we drew the line at all harm.
I think we should move on because this person is clearly not engaging in good.
You're right. He just sort of shut off the moment we started refuting his argument.
I'm agree with you, bro. I'm here to talk for people. I don't understand the kind of acting like that. You know, you are acting like rude. So I know I agree with your
Yeah, I'm
point,
rude to you because you're rude to animals. It's very.
What
I'll
the
be rude
fuck,
to you the minute you stop being rude. I'll stop being rude to you the minute you stop being rude to animals. But I'm not even being rude. I'm just telling you the honest truth.
I don't have nothing to mess with my ego, bro. I'm just here to talk with people and solve and hear different points, you know, to train my English, improve my English.
Yeah. So what morally justifies exploiting animals?
I literally hope when the next person trying
So
to
what morally
speak here,
justifies exploiting animals? Sure. So what morally justifies exploiting animals?
It's hard, bro. It's hard. I thought this Discord here is for people talk and
He didn't listen to any of
throttling.
it because he's saying he doesn't have an ego, but he ignored everything we said. So he still doesn't know the difference between exploitative and non-exploitative harm. Like the most simple concept he didn't learn because he was too focused upon the meta. Like I'm not being treated nicely. Like
maybe
he's the victim.
Yeah, so Kendall, maybe mute yourself and just listen from now on. That's fine.
Okay, that's fine, guys.
And look up the difference between exploitative and non-exploitative harm. Ask like ChatGPT. Defending crops is not exploitation, or defending your crops is not exploiting animals.
Let's see, Julie, do you want to have a conversation with us? Oh, she left. We have a lot of people in here, huh? Denial, do you want to have a conversation with us?
We do.
I'm vegan.
You're vegan?
Yes, I'm vegan.
What is vegan?
Oh. Yeah, what does it mean to be vegan?
My English is not so good, but I try to explain. Not to harm animals and not to consume animal products.
Can I ask you a quick question, Daniel?
Yes, okay.
If I have my own chickens, can I eat the eggs?
No.
Why?
Yeah, because it's from animals and we take it away from them.
But it doesn't harm the animal.
But I still don't feel comfortable with that one, too.
Okay. That's fair.
Okay, let's move on to the next person then. Bessie, do you want to have a conversation with us? Oh, you're
Bessie's
already
vegan.
vegan.
Yeah,
I
Bessie's
just saw
vegan.
that. So everyone's vegan here. Oh no, Igris. Igris, do you want to have a conversation with us? Igris Pookie. Bobby.
There was a non-vegan joined side feed if you want to tag them.
All right.
Are they're not in the 3chan debate, right?
Well, you can tag them.
Oh, that's cool. Let's do that.
What's the name of the person? Tom?
It was the last one I jumped.
Okay.
Metal Gear.
Okay. Sounds familiar. Well, they all sound familiar to me, I guess. Okay. I don't... Oh, I'm in the wrong place. Metal Gear. I can't tag them.
They've just changed the name to Snake.
Oh, fuck me.
I've literally just watched them do it in the Hello channel.
Oh, we'll see. I gotta pee. I'm gonna go pee first. Guys, I'm gonna put you in a chip thing so that you can hear Chip talking. Okay?
So that I can invite them to the chat.
I'll be right back.
Because a lot of people don't know how to get to the chat. Yeah, BPM, it seems like they're not, they joined the server, but they're not joining the conversation. Yeah. Interesting. So maybe I'll look at some people's comments in the chat. Why be vegan? Because exploiting innocent animals is wrong. Treating animals like objects is wrong. That's why we're vegan. That's why you should be vegan. Because if you think, I don't know, any form of exploitation is wrong, then you should think any form of exploitation towards the most defenseless sentient beings is also wrong. Because vegans are gay. Thank you for calling me gay. Gay on this channel means cool, so that means you called me cool. I appreciate it. Thank you. So what? Their purpose is to be eaten? Well, no, their purpose is not to be eaten. That's something you ascribe to them because you have power to do so. You think that if somebody had power over you and they ascribed the purpose that you need to be exploited, would that be fair towards you? I think not. Here we go. Think of it logically. If we stopped farming animals, there would be no use for them. Wait, sometimes this plugin messes up, sorry. There would be no use for them, and they would basically go extinct, because keeping them would then have no purpose to us. First of all, don't claim that you're concerned. Imagine thinking, well, I'm concerned about the species of animals. That's why I bring them into existence, only to slaughter them. If you have such a will, Aniela, for these animals, if you care about these animals, you can bring them into existence and not exploit them, if that's your cause. So no need to put these animals through this. Just saying. Okay, let's see what else. If we only ate animal after they lived and died naturally, essentially making us scavengers, would that be okay according to the vegan ethos? Well, if you find a dead animal in the forest and you want to put their flesh through your mouth, I personally wouldn't have an issue with that. But the problem is that you would still be objectifying them, just like in the same manner that if you find a dead human in the forest and your first thought is, well, I'm going to cook them and eat them, that's very nice towards that individual, right? So I wouldn't be on the street or right now on YouTube opposing you if you did that, but I would still think what you're doing is fucked up.
YouTube. Oh, disconnected me. Yo.
Hey, VPM, I thought we lost you there.
No, it's just like every time you push any button, it just disconnects you. I think it's just, I don't know, Discord being funny.
Ah, okay. Somebody asks me, why are you making money off of dead animals with this? Well, off of dead animals with this channel. I don't know what you mean by that. I guess some people donate to me because they want me to do more activism, and that's fine because I would like to do more activism. I'm not making money out of it. You're making it seem as if that would be profitable. I used to be a software engineer, used to earn 4 times more money. Right now, no. I barely make enough to survive. Barely. So,
Chip,
not really relevant.
You used to make 4 times more money just from your job than you do now from doing full-time job and full-time activism. Just to make sure that everybody understands that you work for a living and you do activism. And both of those things don't even come close to what you used to make. So the people who make that claim are just absolutely stupid. I also sacrifice like profit to do this. So people are just like weird.
I just looked at it up now. It's not even VPM. It's way worse than I thought. I thought it's 4 times, but it's like 6 times actually. Jesus Christ.
That's a shame. I'm so sorry.
It's okay. That's fine. Who needs money? We need to fight for the rights of others.
Everybody needs money.
Fair. Everyone needs, especially now, huh? Now it's kind of fucked up. Like I actually have friends who are software engineers and they're having issues finding jobs. It's fucked up.
Yeah.
Welcome to the future. This is what the AI promised us. The future where nobody will have jobs anymore.
I mean, software engineers who like, I don't know, maybe can jump on a wagon and like become like efficient at Claude, right? Integrating Claude into the workflow are probably going to be very valuable.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I do nowadays, right? I just use AI to code mostly because I was told to do so.
Yeah.
But
I know.
It's okay for me because I know how to code already. But I'm curious of what junior engineers will do because they will still know kind of how they need to know how to code because AI still makes mistakes.
Yeah.
So it's very difficult for them. Like junior engineers are fucked.
Yeah, the studies to become like software engineer, they should change drastically. They should incorporate AI work into the studies. I guess, yeah, like there would be like a lost generation of software engineers who's going to be fucked, frankly. Yeah, I agree. Yeah.
Yeah, I learned how to make LLMs in college when I did my diploma, but I hated it, so I know very little.
Yeah.
But yeah. Okay, shall we move to the other channel? Maybe there's more conversations there. I don't know what people are not really are too afraid to join the conversation, it seems.
Oh, people are scared. You're scared to try to justify your violence towards animals. Are you scared?
Yeah.
Is it because you can't justify your violence towards animals? Scary stuff. Sorry. Sometimes just
no, it's fine.
People need to be talked like babies. Okay, let's move on to the second one.
Yeah.
For a few months, you're probably not even making a dent in a single cow's lifetime milk production or her stolen calves that are murdered. But even if you aren't making a huge impact, you shouldn't allow yourself to benefit from someone else's torture and misery and exploitation. Like that diminishes you. And it's just disrespectful to them. You know, because they're in this horrible situation where they're being exploited their whole lives. You shouldn't want to get a benefit from that. Your part should be with them, not with their exploiters. So it's really important. It doesn't matter if it's going to actually change their lives. You should still be on their side. Anyway, that's all I wanted to say.
Jim, do you want to have a conversation with us?
I understand what you say, and I understand your point. I'm not here to change your mind. I'm here to listen to someone who thinks different from me. So I thought this Discord server was a space for calm conversation, but some people here thinks it's funny or really different acting like Rudy because you don't share the same ideas. So it's okay. It's a
Who's
kind of
Rudy?
people. Rudy, Ruderly.
Poor victim.
Oh yeah, no. So Kendall, how do you think we should act towards people who kill other people? Should we be nice to them?
Bro, I don't want to talk to you because you are Ruderly people, you know.
Oh,
Well,
poor baby.
it seems like you're making claims about me, so you're not even allowing me to defend myself when you're making these claims. So I'm just going to tell you fairly simple. I think when somebody's being, an oppressor towards innocent animals, we have all the right to be rude to them. But I wasn't rude to them. I was just being honest with you. I guess that's my way of being respectful towards you. But I guess when others just when you're looking for confirmation from people, when somebody's actually being honest with you, it will seem like rude. But I'm just being honest with you. You are paying for needless animal exploitation, and you should probably stop doing that because you claim to care about animals.
You won't be honest. You talk with your wearables, so you make 10 questions for people who don't know how to speak English. He's learning English and wait for 10 answers in 1 minute and like really people. So, bro, you don't kind of people. You're not my cup of tea, you know.
Yeah, sure.
I don't want.
Maybe
I don't want to
maybe
talk
mute
to people like
yourself
that.
and then yeah, that's fine. Maybe mute yourself then. It's fine.
I'm just wondering how hard you would want us to scream at people who's about to slaughter you or exploit you. Like, I think we should scream harder, frankly. I think we are too calm for what's happening to animals. I think we're too calm and collected and nice to people who pay for exploitation and slaughter of animals. My friend Vegan Gay says we are underreacting when we're acting like this, and we're not overreacting when we're telling people that they're basically paying for animal abuse and to please stop. So
I really like that point, VPM.
Well, thank
there
Vegan
isn't
Gays for
any
making
way
it.
to not. Yeah, there isn't any way to act too offended about what's happening. That's how great of an atrocity it is, and so you should want people to act as though it's an atrocity if you really care about the animals, even if your feelings are hurt. You should want someone to be fighting that hard because they deserve to be fought for like that. That's why we all love Chip.
Am I being a dick? Actually, I mean, I'm just not even being a dick. I'm very nice to people generally.
No, you are. But I'm saying you're fighting for them the way they deserve to be fought for, and that's why we all gravitate towards your activism. You have that. You understand the gravity of what's happening, and you don't sugarcoat things. If it's like that's the way all activists need to fight for animals. Yeah, I don't listen to activists to sort of act like it's just like another thing, like just not a big deal. It's something it's an atrocity. Yeah. So
Yeah. I think almost everyone here is an amazing activist. I think everyone is. Yeah.
Ooh, who fell under the almost banner.
Yeah, no, I totally agree though. Yeah, this place, like everyone in here without exception is like, yeah, they understand the gravity, and I love that. That's why I'm always that's why I spend so much time in here.
Did I say almost? I never said almost. I said amazing. Did I say almost? I didn't say almost. Or did Nick say it almost?
Hey, wait a second. I'm not taking credit. No, I don't remember what you said.
That's
You might
it,
have said
Nick. You're
wasn't.
canceled. Cancel Nick. Hashtag cancel Nick. Yeah, I mean, I got a lot of people in my chat, but nobody really wants to come in here. Nobody has the courage to come in here and say something. I think it's also very clear, or at least it's becoming increasingly more clear to me that the issue with activism will, at some point, we'll have to pivot, because for a while it's been educating people, but I think people are already educated. A lot of people already know. Like, I meet very few people who don't know the atrocities that they're supporting. So right now, maybe we have to pivot towards trying to, I don't know.
You guys, so I told you, I've been telling you, I'm so good at triggering people on threads, right? And this one is one of the coolest things I've done on, look at that, 54 likes, that's fine. It's just like people, vegan people finding my thing and like slapping a like. That's not what I'm looking for. But what I'm looking for is the comments, right? And 100, and let me make it bigger, 188 comments. That's about how many followers I have. So it's like, really, like a lot of those comments are mine, obviously, like half of them. But let me show you what's happening here. So what I said is beef is shitty proteins. Beef is a shitty protein source. Yeah, I said it. And then commence the cope. So why am I doing this, right? Why am I saying it like that and not giving like more information, more nuance, the way how you know me to talk, right? With a lot of nuance, a lot of information. It's because when I do put a lot of nuance and a lot of information, people don't interact with it, right? I made this post very informative about how incomplete protein is just like a weird concept. It assumes that a food is your only source of protein, basically, and that you eat very little protein at that, right? So I made a very informative post with evidence and then nothing, right? People don't give a shit. People only start giving a shit when I'm insulting their deeply held beliefs, right? And I'm doing that on purpose. I'm doing that to trigger cognitive dissonance, especially since when they're saying something like it's pointless to have a rational conversation with a vegan, right? I'm saying I can provide quality evidence accompanied with nuanced claim. Dismissing the source of claim without examine evidence is a logical fallacy. And this provides even bigger cognitive dissonance, in my opinion, right? Because I'm saying, this deeply held belief that you have, I can dismantle it with evidence, with a mountain of evidence, that is, even. And then, this person decided, right, the original one decided not to interact. But then this person came in and they decided to interact. And I call these people heroes because I think they are, right? Because they're saying, I have this deeply held belief, and most people do. They have this incredibly deeply held belief that beef is an amazing source of protein, right? Because that's the ads that we've been watching. That's the advertising that's been attacking us since we were little. That's what our parents told us, right? It's deeply, deeply held belief. But they decided to become a hero anyways and say, please share the evidence to dismantle my deeply held belief. So I did. Sorry, there it is. I need to address those actually maybe in a bit. So sure, here's my nuanced claim. The first thing I do is I add nuance. There are higher sources of protein that don't increase the risk of CVD and other diseases, right? I'm concentrating on CVD because it's incredibly full of evidence, right? Whereas, like, for instance, diabetes, the increase of consumption of red meat increasing diabetes mellitus, which is diabetes, it's there, but it's not as vast as the evidence that we have for saturated fat, which beef is absolutely full of, right? So I add nuance, and then increased risk, and then I'm providing evidence. Increased risk, there's a landing page with links, and that's my cardiovascular disease link, where it's the position of, it's the scientific consensus that low density lipoprotein causes atherosclerotic cardiovascular disease, right? Beef increases LDL, everybody knows that. Therefore, it also shows this LDL, normal LDL cholesterol between 50 and 60, basically makes you immune to cardiovascular disease. 70 is also fantastic, and then anything above 70 increases your cardiovascular disease risk. Okay. I have, the last time I checked, I have 69. And then association of protein intake with mortality. So high animal protein intake was positively associated with cardiovascular mortality, right? And high plant protein intake was inversely associated with all-cause cardiovascular mortality, especially among individuals with at least one lifestyle risk factor, right? So eating beef, eating animal protein at this point is suicidal, right? And I'm sorry, we will go back to the ramblings right there. I just wanted to extract some value out of this. And then there's a bunch of other stuff right there, right? So a landing page showing a bunch of, so estimating multiple regression equation for the mean changes of serum lipids and lipoproteins when 1% of energy of the diet is from saturated fatty acids is replaced isocalorically with carbohydrates. So I'm not giving a direct, just to add to epistemology, I'm not giving a direct show you eat red meat, you increase your cardiovascular disease risk. I don't know why that nobody made that claim. I think it's because the researchers are nuanced, they have to keep nuance, right? But the indirect but incredibly robust justification for not eating red meat because it increases cardiovascular disease risk is because it increases LDL. LDL increases your atherosclerotic cardiovascular disease risk, and replacing animal proteins with plant proteins reduces your replacing saturated fats with polyunsaturated and monounsaturated fats reduces your cardiovascular disease risk as well, right? That's the first landing page. And then better protein source to give people options is textured vegetable protein. This is just like, just like a nutritional facts for my food data for textured vegetable protein. And then I also add something visual, right? This thing. So this on this side is hamburger of ground beef, 85% lean. I'm as charitable as fuck here, right? So I'm saying even when it's the leanest, it has only 26 grams of protein, whereas textured vegetable protein for the same calories, so comparable calories, gives you 35 grams of protein and more of other, what is it called? Amino acids, right? So, and then plant sources are similar to animal sources for muscle building. I'm also giving them, reducing their anxiety about building muscle right there. I know you're all quiet. I'm hoping you're listening. I don't know. And my usual page about protein. That's what I did right there. So when person actually interacts with this and not just go, bro, just use chronometer to make his point. On social media, I'm often misgendered to be a he. I think it's the tie in the little PFP. or just like the general assumption that whoever is talking on social media is a he. It's just like, notice everybody does it. I do it as well. It's just like immediately assume that that's a he. And then they actually interacted it. Textured vegetable protein is a great protein source. And then, they added a little bit of nuance at the end. They say, just not worth the squeeze. Why mitigate risk when you can eliminate it entirely, right? They're making claim that like reduction is better. And then I also said, thank you for being somewhere. I said somewhere, thank you for being, open-minded and shit like that. So I need to read this guy, but let's go to what's going on there so that you can listen to brain rot instead of listening to me.
Consciousness that he knows that he's being enslaved, so it's better to
But let me ask you this.
that we should make him our slave rather than him moving freely.
Sure, but do you think that it's okay to enslave people who don't know that they're enslaved?
No, like for me, I don't think it's okay to enslave, but if you are able to provide that animal every facility, so I think it is better than him or her. The animal should move freely.
So, wait, first of all, you're making a claim which you yourself don't believe. Because if you were in the position of the animal, would you rather be free or would you rather be enslaved but with good conditions?
Like animal don't have that level of consciousness that
we can go into that. We can go into that. But first and foremost, what would you rather do?
Like as a human, I think it's not good to be enslaved.
Okay. Do you don't think it's good to be enslaved because you were born in the species Homo sapiens?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, why is that? What part of your Homo sapiens makes it not good to feel enslaved?
I think
because as far as I know, if you put an animal in a cage, they want to leave. Have you ever put an animal in a cage? They really don't want to be in there.
Yeah, that could be reason animal wants, but that happens only when the animal suffers in the cage, right? If he is not suffering, then why would he want to leave?
Animals don't want to be in cages. Your desire to be free is not coming from you being intelligent. It's coming from, it's inherent to your sentience.
Oh, I don't know much about that, but as far as I know that animal, I don't know much about that, whether the animal wants to leave or not.
Okay, but let's establish a couple of things, because you say that if we find a human being who thinks the same as an animal, right? Who are cognitively the same as an animal, it would be wrong to enslave them, right?
Yeah.
But an animal, it's okay to enslave them.
Yeah.
Okay, so what's the difference between these two individuals? A human being with the same level of intelligence.
So people who are answering my poll with only if I get bacon afterwards, it's okay to torture animals, or some of you even said it's okay to torture animals. Please come up and, have a conversation with me, justify your position that it's okay to torture animals, especially if you get bacon from it. Let me know, right? Like, don't be just a coward who presses a button. Have an actual discussion. You have nothing to lose from it, right?
You're saying it's okay, it's wrong to enslave them. But then, if I pick an animal who has the same level of intelligence as that human, you're saying it's okay to enslave them. So what's the difference between these two individuals that makes enslavement okay for one, but not the other?
I think ego, like a human know that
Who is vegan
he or
among you,
she-
bro? Tell me.
that feeling of I.
White, can you please wait, because we're speaking to somebody else right now.
Okay, sorry, my bad.
No worries. Yeah, go on.
Yeah. So the ego factor, like animals, animals doesn't know that
Neither does this human.
The center is I. As
Neither does this human.
No, I don't think so. Like every human, his whole world revolves around for him, to
That's very
protect
ableist
his
of you.
ego.
So that's very ableist of you to believe so. So as I just explained to you, this human being has the same cognitive capabilities as any other animal. They're literally the same cognitive capabilities as any other animal. Would it be okay to enslave them?
Wait, I'll be back.
Run, Forrest, run.
Maybe VPN, maybe you want to start a conversation with this person, White?
Sure. Hello.
Okay. So who is vegan among you, bro? Are you on vegan side?
Most of us are vegan, yeah.
Okay, and who's the another guy?
Sorry?
Where's gone, bro? Wait.
Sorry, what's the question? There are a few non-vegans in here. You want to talk to them or something? What's going on? Just let us know what you're trying to do here, man. Hello?
Yeah, White. You want to have a conversation with us? What's going on? Call me White.
Okay. I just want to get the context, okay? What's going on here?
Yeah, so we're asking people how you feel about animals. That's it.
Okay. So you are vegan, right?
Yeah.
Okay. By the way, I'm also vegan.
Sorry?
I'm also vegan, okay?
Oh, you're also vegan. Okay. Why are you vegan?
Okay.
Why are you vegan?
Sorry?
Why are you vegan?
Okay. Why am I vegan? Right?
Yeah.
Actually, that's our environment of our home. Like my father, my mother, my sister, no one eats vegan no, animals or meat. Right? That's why I'm a vegan. I've never tasted meat, chicken, and all. So it feels like disgusting. And also, the emotion factor is there, na? That's why I guess
Do you use dairy?
they are also organisms and all shit. Sorry, bro, I'm outside. Okay, I'll talk to you later. Sorry.
Oh, okay.
They'll be.
Yeah, no problem,
Okay.
no problem. Okay, anybody else in here? What's up? Henry. What's up? How about denial? And George Droid. And Igris. Any of you can mic up and we can have a discussion.
Yeah, it's kind of difficult for them. They don't have the courage to mic up. Come on, mic up, do it.
Let's not, I don't know.
I'm trying to, I'm trying what I'm trying to do.
Yeah,
I
to
know it's not the
antagonize
case.
them.
Yeah, exactly.
To trigger them. Listen, I wanted to tell you guys about this post I did on Threads. So I made the claim on Threads that beef is a shitty source of protein. What do you think about that? No. I guess it's true. I guess beef is a shitty source of protein and there's nothing we can do about it.
I mean, beef is a pretty shitty source of protein. I give you that.
Yeah, I know. I know, I'm right. I know.
Yeah. I got a person in my chat who says they don't speak to gay people.
Oh.
Fuck.
Weird.
Wow.
Well, they can't
Yeah.
actually claim that, right? Because they could have spoken to a gay person without knowing about it. So.
Yeah, that's also true. Yeah.
Yeah. You know,
But they, VPM, because their whole point is that I'm gay, right?
Yeah.
And they don't want to come and have a conversation with me but they will sit on their phone and look at me. That's yeah, it's kind of weird.
Yeah.
Looking at you, police force in Munich.
So, Ozzy, we're against zoos. We don't think we should like enslave animals and put them in cages, just so that, you know, other animals could be potentially helped. Then it's also like trading animals, you know, literally buying and selling them. And yeah, like they feed lions like actual carcasses when they could feed them like properly formulated plant-based diets. So, but like the unhappiness, I guess, of a lion is more likely to come from the fact that those animals are used to running right through vast amounts, like through vast lands, and they are like in a tiny cage instead, right? So that's probably where their lack of happiness comes from, and not from like what their diet is. It could be like if they're fed like a non like deficient diet, then maybe it could like provide quite a lot of non-happiness. I wouldn't advocate for that though. I'm like the lion. You're like a lion in what way? You're saying I'm a meat-eating animal. Yes, I can survive on grass, but eating meat makes me happy. Well, here's the thing, right? This is like a false dichotomy, Aussie man. Nobody's telling you to eat grass, right? Because, you know, if you Google, for instance, vegan junk food, right? There is like all this like grass, all this like, let's go to Argentina. There's all this grass, right, that you can eat. And like all this grass, right, that you can eat as a vegan. And I'm not sure why you would like bias yourself like that by saying, oh, I could eat grass. No, don't eat grass, man. Eat food, real food. Look at that. What a fantastic vegan junk food. You can also eat just like vegan whole food, right? Like more closer to something wholesome, like this fantastic salad or something like that, right? You can totally, right? Let's go to another country. Let's see. Let's go to Chile. Chile probably has like, it doesn't change. Let's go, because you're Aussie, let's go to Australia. Right? It doesn't change much either, but this is vegetarian shit creeped up. But, you know, vegan food can be incredibly diverse. You don't have to eat just grass, right? You know, I don't know if your happiness or your perceived happiness from eating animal products would justify slaughtering somebody. I really don't think so, right? Because violent acts require incredible justifications. Enormous justification, right? It's a hypothetical, it's a hypothetical question that I hope that I answered, right? I don't think a happiness of an animal, both human and non-human animal, justifies taking the entire life of a comparable being, right? Just don't think that's a good justification, man, you know? Well, here you are like totally confused, Aussie man. So herbivores, it's a classification, right? It's a classification of what a species eats for the longest time. And herbivore means a species that eats predominantly plants, like 99% plants, something like that for a long period of time. That's a definition of herbivore. So I eat meat and plants. I think you meant omnivore here. And here's the thing also, right? So yes, humans are omnivores. We can eat both. We have been eating both. That doesn't tell us what we should be eating, right? So it's a different question. Yeah, that's okay. We make mistakes. It's not a problem at all. I'm just saying, right, like, even if taken in the context of correcting this mistake, it just doesn't, the classification of omnivore is descriptive. It's just telling us what a species have been eating for a while, right? It doesn't tell us what we should be eating. So I'm an omnivore, yet I've been on a plant-based diet for 11 years because ethically I recognize that animals have all this complex experience, including feeling pain, feeling joy, sorrow, fear, anxiety. And if I can, which I can, I shouldn't take that experience away from them, right? And if possible, I should provide a positive experience for them rather than a negative one, the way we do to dogs, generally speaking, right? Dogs are still incredibly exploited in some parts of the world. In fact, in Australia specifically, dogs are experimented on, which I find horrific, because Australia actually has like more pet animals, so dogs and cats, than people. So incredible amount of pet animals, and yet like those same pet animals are bred to be exploited and slaughtered for research, right? So there is a disparity there as well. That's all we're saying as vegans, right? You have the ability as an ape, right? You have the ability to not eat animal fat, not eat animal flesh or secretions. And therefore, I think you have the responsibility to not take the lives of those animals, you know? So what if they found a scientifically proven way of no pain slaughter? Well, it would still be incredibly immoral, right? Like imagine we're taking a human baby, right? A human baby is mentally comparable, or a human toddler, right, is mentally comparable to an animal like a dog or a cat or a cow or a pig or a chicken. Oh, a pig or a chicken. Sorry. See, everybody makes mistakes. It's fine. So if I take the pain away from that toddler, is it okay for me to take their life away? I think not. I think intrinsically toddlers have they should be intrinsically morally worthy to continue living, right? If it's at all possible. And if you are taking away the life of a toddler, as we do in some places in the world right now, we as human beings, humankind, then it should have like an immense amount of justification, which I think we don't have. So a couple of things in the world that are immoral that are happening right now, right? So that's all I'm saying. If you take in the life of a conscious being that has an experience, you must have an enormous justification for it. Even if you do it painlessly, you're taking their life away from them. And a perceived slight increase in happiness is just like, I think, not a good justification for it. It's just like, you can be happy as a plant-based person, as a vegan, right? I'm happy. I'm happier than I've ever been, frankly, even though I'm now like more aware of the atrocities that we do to animals. I've become happier because I'm not part of that, right? So I hope that helps. Almost everyone here has dogs, and yet Australia breeds dogs to experiment on. It's terrible. I was at this lecture one day on one of the trials that I was on, and there was like a lecture of an Australian researcher, and he was talking about like how like a post-mortem of a dog for, if I remember correctly, it was for cosmetic reasons. It's really fucked up to me. Even back then I wasn't even vegan when I was on that lecture. I think, I don't remember if I was or wasn't, but the lecture like really left an impression on me. It's terrible. I just don't equate humanity to other animals. Well, we're not asking you, right? Comparing humans to animals. I hope you can see my human-animal comparison, right? So when I say, right, like I'm trying to explain the rationale between saying a human toddler and an animal are comparable in this case. Comparable, not equatable, right? For instance, right, this is like a hypothetical dialogue. I say both apples and oranges are fruit, right? And you're saying, more nicer than what I showed up here. Did you just say apples and oranges are the same thing, right? You said, are you saying that apples and oranges are equal? And I'm saying, no, I'm just saying that both things belong to the same category, right? Because they have a trait in common, both grow on trees. So the same thing we're talking about, we're saying about like animals, right? Animals and human beings. So humans and animals are both sentient. This word means that they have this subjective experience, you know, and they deserve moral consideration when considering whether they should be exploited or killed, right? We have to stop and ask the question, oh, should we kill this animal, right? But also, Ozyman, this is incredibly unfair of you because when you entered my chat, you compared yourself to a lion, right? You said, I'm like a lion. So you were the one actually kind of equating yourself even to a lion, to an animal. So incredibly unfair of you to all of a sudden sway from this position. It's just like incompatible with your own rationalizations, all right? So there you go. Let's return to the conversation.
They can abuse animals.
Do they even know what trophic levels are?
Oh, I can show trophic levels. Sorry.
Wait 1 second, just 1 second. Let me show them exactly where it says that it takes between 3 to 8 times. Actually, oh, there you go, 3 to 10 times. So the high demand for land by animal production is due to the inefficiency of production of one animal protein unit compared with production of one vegetable protein unit. 3 to 10 times more land, is needed to produce a meat protein than a vegetable protein.
Oh, Chip, can I have this link? Can I have it for my site?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, sure.
Appreciate
It's a really good one.
Yeah.
We'll just post it in the chat here.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was done by the government of Mexico. I read through almost all of it. It's very interesting to read also.
I remember reading it. I just don't remember adding it. Sorry, continue.
No, that's it. I just showed it to the person that was denying this, and now the person has run away.
Oh, I do have that one.
Oh, shit. Something went wrong.
You know, earlier when I kind of defined what, like, kind of why veganism is a rebirth of sorts, I said that it was because you're no longer an exploiter of others. But I probably should have also said vegans are also protectors of the most vulnerable, because we're always oriented, and that I think is kind of the hallmark of kind of being a better person is, are you going to fight for the most vulnerable? And that's what vegans do. So just want to add that.
But if you defend the those who are different than you, that makes you a bigot, you know.
Yeah. Well,
according to some dude in Ship's chat, anyway.
So Kendall, the Brazilian guy, said that he was gonna watch the Dairy Scary video that I posted in the side chat. He was deafened, so I'm guessing he was watching it and he left right after.
Interesting.
I'm gonna reply to him and ask what he thought of it.
The person in my chat already acknowledged that they're wrong about it, and now they're moving on to a different argument.
Oh, fantastic stuff.
As they always do, yeah. But they're still too afraid to come and join and have a conversation with us.
Weird. Why? Something is wrong with your link, man. By the way.
Why? It goes directly to the server. What do you mean?
I mean, it goes, for me, it shows 500 error, 500, something went wrong on our end. We're working to fix the issue. But I
Wait,
found
the
the
link to the
actual paper,
server?
so it's fine.
Oh, the paper, you mean? Okay.
Yeah, the paper. Yeah, I found it.
Is this the only place in the world where veganism is discussed online at a high level? I think it might be, which is kind of sobering.
I mean,
You
we
know
don't
what I
know.
mean? Like,
We don't know.
I don't know where else to find. I mean,
Maybe the only place on Discord, but probably not the only place on. There was a not even that. There's a German giant server, right? Isn't it?
Yeah, Germany or
That's
UK
true.
is going to be one of the first countries to become vegan. Germany is like really pushing it now.
Oh, I forgot about that. Yeah. I almost
This
want to learn
can't
German
be-
just so I can join that search server.
Yeah,
this can't be the only place.
Yeah, they're also like
Wait,
on
we
TikTok.
got some new people in here.
Yeah, on TikTok,
Sorry.
people like Vegan Stoner Lady and Jam Lettuce, they just go live on TikTok, and Cheap is there, and the 40-year-old vegan joins in as well. They just like talk to a huge amount of people in a similar fashion. There are vegans going live and just like having these discussions. Yeah. Probably not 24/7 like we do, but
Yeah, we
Yeah.
have some people. Yoshi, Yahya, do you guys want to have a conversation with us?
Yes, I'm willing to speak to everyone. Why I'm so happy because some guys who are called my name is very kind to me. I'm so happy, and I hope that everyone asks me about any question. Yeah.
So Yoshi, are you vegan?
Yes, in the past I was a vegan person, and then I gave up, that because my body was very slim, and I must consume meat in order to raise my nutrition. And the reason why I cannot become a vegan, and especially I like this conversation because I would like to listen to mindfulness, all right, and everyone consume vegetable and fruit, all right, and we must protect animals, all right, from a slaughter. I love it. Yeah.
So do you think that you can gain weight or not lose weight by consuming animal products? Do you think there's a possibility that you could gain weight?
so I'm an animal when it supports my argument, and different from them when it supports my other arguments. Okay, well, that's like inconsistency. You're basically admitting I'm an irrational person, which is kind of weird. Right. I hope that's clear to you. You're just literally saying I'm just irrational.
Is dirty. Wait for me. Let me finish. All right. Okay. The
But
reason
it's
why
not about clean, Yoshi. This isn't about, like, I understand you want to push this narrative of eating clean or whatever. I don't like that narrative, so I'm going.
So you're saying, what about the fact that a lot of these animals we breed to eat wouldn't have to be alive if we didn't breed to eat them? Yeah, that would be a better, a good alternative to them being bred just to be exploited and slaughtered, right? Where do I have it? I think I have it. I don't remember what to look it under. 1 second, I'll get there. So, why vegan? Slaughter count, logical fallacies. Maybe under ethical concepts. No, sentience, sapience, non-existence. Well, there you go. Existence versus non-existence, right? So here's Bentham's proposition. Bentham is this weirdo who's like making the claim that being born, everybody, including humans, I think in fact he is talking about humans, being born is less preferable than being not born at all, right? But allow me to add some nuance here, right? So scenario A, you have a presence of harm, which is morally problematic. And then he says in scenario B, there is an absence of harm, and we're asking whose harm. Well, the answer is, right, and I should write it out in an argument here, but okay. The answer is, if you can predict that you are definitely going to harm a human or an animal, it's better for them to not exist. If you can predict that you're going to care for that human and an animal, basically, in case of an animal, for the rest of their life, then sure. You know, like when parents have babies, for instance, most of those parents, right, they're saying, I'm going to give this child the best life I can. Some of them fuck it up, but they come to the conclusion of having a child in order to give them the best life they can. So when you bring an animal, even in order to give them the best life they can, for a fraction of their lifespan, and then slaughter them, or worse, in case of dairy, you give an animal a life and you're gonna, again, a shortened life, you're gonna exploit them for the entirety of that life and then slaughter them, was just like not justified. Again, when such a violent action should be justified greatly, and I don't think it's justified to bring an animal into existence just to exploit and slaughter them, even if everything between that exploitation and that slaughter is Yankee Doodle Dandy, right? Like a fantastic life or whatever. However you measure that, right? Because farmers, when they say, I take care of my animals, what they mean is basic necessities, right? They just mean they give them food, water, and maybe sunshine. That's basic necessity. So, yeah, no, I don't think it's justified. Why do you think it's justified to bring animals knowing that you're going to exploit and slaughter them? And would it be comparable to parents having babies that they know they're going to abuse? Who are you to tell these beings they don't deserve an existence? I'm not telling anybody. I'm just telling farmers to stop bringing them into existence just to exploit and slaughter. I'm not talking to the animals, especially if they are non-existent. There is nobody there to talk about or to, right? You're making kind of a category error again, Ozyman, because you're saying, right, you're making a category error twice, because you're saying, like, in case of humans, for instance, who are you to tell this being to not exist? Well, if they don't exist, there's nobody to tell anything to. That's the category error. And in fact, even if they do exist, there is nobody to tell anything to. And in the case of an animal, there is never anybody to tell anything to. So that's a category error number two. You kind of saying, you assuming a verbal dialogue with a being that A, doesn't exist, and B, in case of animals, would never be able to understand you. So you have to think about their best interest when you're approaching this. And I think in case of, for instance, a dairy cow, it is in the best interest of that cow to never exist, because the counterfactual is they're bred, if they're a boy, they're going to be slaughtered for veal. That's the best case scenario, frankly, because then they'll get like 3 months to live. Best, worst, who the fuck knows, because they're going to be suffering throughout this time. And if you're a female, you're going to be forcibly impregnated, your calf is going to be taken away from you, and you're going to be treated like a machine. You're going to be milked every day, 2 or 3 times a day. And then when you can't be milked anymore, you're going to be killed again. It's like, doesn't seem to be like, doesn't seem to be preferable over not existing at all, right? Like, put yourself in that position, Ozyman. If you were brought into this world by your parents who just brought you to work in a factory since you were 5, and then if you, like, I don't know, break a leg or something and you can't work in a factory anymore, they're just gonna unalive you. You think that's it's a good existence. I think your parents, in that case, shouldn't bring you into existence. That's what I think. Humans suffer their whole life. But you don't suffer the way the dairy cow is, but also your suffering wasn't premeditated, right? And in fact, I bet, Aussie man, your parents did everything they could to avoid as much suffering as possible for you. I bet they did everything they can so that you have the least suffering in the world while existing, right? And that's the actual crux of the matter. The best interests of the being you are about to bring into existence should be considered. And if it's not in the best interest, if they're not going to be having the best life, being free, their suffering mitigated or avoided entirely, then you shouldn't bring that being into existence. And it sounds like an anti-natalist position, but not at all. I'm not an anti-natalist. I'm just saying if parents think they can't give the child a good life, they shouldn't bring them into existence. Especially if they're like doing it for selfish reasons, trying to exploit the child. And the same goes for animals. My parents have a cattle farm. I figured you are motivated reasoning a little bit, Aussie man, right there. The cows live a pretty nice life. Well, I don't know if I should repeat myself, right? They were bred for profit. Their best interest wasn't considered. The cow's best interest wasn't considered. Your parents are breeding those animals to make money. And that, in fact, we do have research on it. Even when it comes to welfare considerations, profit comes first over welfare, always. But when it comes to animal rights, right, your parents are premeditated unalivers. They are. They bring those animals with a death date, basically. And I think that's incredibly unjustified. And I bet they didn't bring you into existence for the same reason, right? Because if they did, I don't think you would find that justified. You're telling all the cows that could have had... Again, are you not listening, or is this an old comment? Because there's nobody to tell anything to. You're making a category error. The way you did with the comparing yourself to a lion, you're making a category error again. This is just like something that happens to people. So let me actually be a bit more comprehensive about it. Category error. Let's see a definition of that. Right. So a category error is a mistaken reasoning, right, where things from one category are incorrectly treated as if they belong to another category. Okay. So when you categorize a being that doesn't exist as a being with rights or needs or anything like that, you're making a category error. And a mistaken reasoning almost always leads you to the wrong conclusion. That's why, Aussie man, you should fix your reasoning. You shouldn't keep your beliefs based on error, you know? Presence of harm as a harm. Okay, I don't know what that means. I think you're making fun of my accent, but I don't care. Our parents brought us into a world of pain. Well, you just keep repeating yourself. I'm just gonna start ignoring you, I guess, Aussie man. You're not listening, it seems. So I don't know what else to do. No, if they wanted the least suffering, they wouldn't bring animals into existence. As your own argument, man. One second you make one argument, and the other you turn around and just completely contradict yourself, right? It's just like weird. Look, put another sentient being into the position of the cows that your parents are breeding, and tell me if you would accept that in case of toddlers who are comparable in intelligence, right? So it's not a category error there, and are comparable in innocence, so it's not a category error there as well, right? And they're also comparable in consciousness. So they are experiencing life. So if you would accept that your parents could like breed human toddlers and kill them when they're still toddlers, when they haven't developed like the superior intelligence that we develop, generally speaking, when growing up, you would accept that it's okay to breed toddlers into existence and just to then profit from their unaliving, then, you know, you would be a monster, but a morally consistent person at least. No, you don't have a death date, Aussie man. You will, I bet, live as long as you can, right? And if somebody were to kill you prematurely, I'm sure you and everybody around you would consider that a tragedy. So it's just like incorrect. Again, you're making a category error saying that we have a death date. We don't. I don't know when I'm gonna die. Do you? My parents, when they brought me into existence, they didn't know. They didn't say, "Oh, we're gonna kill VPM when they're 19." No, they said we're gonna give them the best life we can. The longest life we can as well, right? My parents still feel like that. They want me to live, way outlive them, for instance, right? Why are Russians? I'm not a Russian. I'm a Jew. Well, reduce it to 0. That would be the best thing to do. And not just meat. Take out dairy and eggs as well, and you are halfway to a decent human being right there. Not a full-throated meat. Well, that's a flaw that you must fix. Because ethically speaking, being vegan is more morally right. And I can provide evidence for that if you want. So let me know, Mandan, if you want me to provide evidence for my claim from your position, right? I'm not gonna just talk about my position. You're making fun of my accent? Okay, it was a silly joke, that's fine. Oh, you're not making okay, silly joke, okay, that's fine. Yeah, go on, ask a question. Do you think abortion to avoid the pain and discomfort of the mother struggling is okay? The short answer is yes. The long answer is more nuanced. So let me find my abortion page. I do have one. Oh, I'm still running that thing. I shouldn't be running that thing. Shit. Sorry. Abortion. So this is not a vegan stance, by the way, right? This is my personal stance. But I don't like not answering questions. So I'm going to answer your question. So I would say vegans have different views on the question of abortion. So it's best to ask an individual vegan. So whatever I'm going to say here, don't just automatically extrapolate it on other vegans, right? So I'm not just a vegan, I'm also a sentientist. So I prioritize, right? I think sentient beings should be morally considered. Now, we kill sentient beings almost every single day when it's justified, right? I'm just saying when it's not justified, we shouldn't exploit or slaughter sentient beings, and we should give it moral consideration, moral thought. Whoever is sentient, they should be given a moral consideration. So, but I'm writing it here. Generally speaking, vegans prioritize sentient life over life simpliciter. So some vegans would claim that abortion is wrong once the fetus is sentient, which occurs at 19 to 24 weeks of life. Which is the place before which most abortions occur, right? I would personally say, just to add a little bit of a caveat, some research claims that the structures allowing sentience are in place, but the fetus is unconscious and cannot feel pain, right? Before, like, even after this, right? Some research shows it. I have it right here. I would prioritize, and I would put myself in those others, the well-being of a sentient person who is pregnant over the fetus, once the fetus is sentient, right? Because pregnancy to term leads to extreme changes to the pregnant person's bodies, can lead to death, and if it's not a wanted pregnancy, then it's a torture to remain pregnant since it violates consent. It, as I said, literally causes like all of these changes in the body. So I would say before 19 to 24 weeks, it's not even a moral question that fetus is not sentient, right? And as I was talking about, right, now you have to think of the best interest of the fetus for when it's sentient. And I don't think being born into the world where nobody wants you is the best interest of that fetus. So not sentient, not morally comparable, could extrapolate to like the future if they exist where nobody, like the person who giving birth to them doesn't want them. I don't think it's in their best interest to be born, right? And then after the fetus is sentient, still questionable scientifically whether they should be considered on the same level as any other sentient being, as cows, for instance, even, because they're like mostly unconscious, likely don't feel pain yet, right? The structures are there, but maybe the sentience haven't occurred yet or doesn't occur for the most of the time, something like that. But even if the fetus is fully sentient, prioritizing, in my opinion, the fully fledged sentient beings that already lived, their best interest is a higher priority to me than a being that wasn't born yet. That said, we're talking about like a fraction of people's fraction of what's happening, because most abortions happen before 19 weeks anyways. So that's my position. I hope that answered it well. Abortion without a medical reason is taking a life against its will. Well, the fetus doesn't have a will. You're again doing a category error. A fetus doesn't have a will, especially when it's not sentient, but when it's sentient, it still doesn't have a will yet. Will, right, is something that happens once you're incredibly mature, right? Once you're born, basically. A will, that's again a category error against their best interest, maybe you can say. And yeah, maybe sure. But then you have like what we call a moral dilemma, right? You have two bad choices, basically, right? You have this one sentient being that can't or doesn't want to even, right, to go through this crazy thing called pregnancy, incredibly detrimental to your body, could cause death, and of course immense amount of pain and suffering for months. Torture, I would call it torture if you don't want to be pregnant, because pregnant women who do want babies, they are willing to take that huge amount of suffering in order to, in the end, have a baby, right? But the people who don't want that would be torture to make them continue being pregnant anyways. That's my position. So I don't agree with you 100%, but I respect your opinion. Well, what do you don't agree with? Because respecting your opinion is just like such a lip service. I don't care. You're saying, I think we should start with baby steps and stop exploiting other humans. Well, first of all, I wouldn't call that a baby step, but why would you wait? You can stop exploiting animals. You, personally, you, man Dan, you can stop exploiting animals while also starting to take steps towards not exploiting humans. You can do both, like they're not contradictory. Stopping exploiting animals is, or at least like, you know, the main exploitation aspects that occur because you pay for them. It's incredibly easy. You just stop buying animal products. That's it. And you replace them with plant products. That's it. Why would you take a baby step there? It's like so easy. What else do we have here? They do feel pain late-term abortions. Maybe some science says no. Right, I can give you this paper if you want. I think it's this paper. The awakening of a newborn human infant in the emergence of consciousness. So this is from Neuroscience of Consciousness. You can read this paper. So Let's just say there is no scientific consensus there that they do feel pain. So I don't know if why you're making that claim, and if you can provide evidence for that claim, I'll say, okay, well, there's a difference of opinions right there, right? But I'm saying even if they can feel pain, even if they are sentient, you have a moral dilemma here again. You have a fully fledged being that built a life, have a very high ability to experience suffering, right? That's the person who's carrying the fetus. And then you have a being that maybe is sentient, and its experience incredibly narrow. Its ability to experience is incredibly narrow as well. And there I would choose the fully fledged, incredibly sentient being. Some vegans would disagree with me, that's fine, right? That's just my opinion as a person with a female body who is also a feminist, and have talked to people who gave birth, asked them about the experience, and even people who gave birth because they wanted to. They are saying it's suffering comparable to torture going through pregnancy, and that's why I prioritize the fully fledged adult capable of experiencing sentience to a greater degree, rather than a being that is a question mark of whether they're capable of experiencing life. So, all right, let's go back to
this topic, but it also happens in other areas that people think that they know way more than they really do when they basically know nothing. People are overconfident in general, I would say. It's like
Dunning-Kruger.
Yeah, that's the term.
Yeah, definitely, man. Like, it's really, I don't know how to say it. It's really fucking stupid and annoying. And like, actually,
it just seems to be vegans talking to vegans. So you'd take the will of the high. Again, there's no will. You're just like assuming that there is a will. Oh, you're saying, okay, so let me read to the end. I'm so sorry, Aussie man. So you take the will. I just don't like the terminology. I'll take the best interest. I think best interest is better describes on how I view morality and how I question what is moral and what isn't. So I'll take the best interest of the higher sentient being, the obviously sentient being that have already been experiencing life and is experiencing life, in choosing to take the life of a lower sentient being. Well, it's not choosing to take a life. I'm sure there are like mental repercussions for that, right? I'm not saying we're choosing to take a life. That's just like the consequences of it. Yes, taking the life. I'm saying in choosing to not be tortured, and forever changed biologically. Yeah, I would take that. It's not discomfort. It's torture. So you minimizing the experience of the of a woman just to become right. That's called the Mott and Bailey fallacy, right? So Mott and Bailey, I think it's written like that. So Mott and Bailey fallacy, Mott and Bailey fallacy is a type of argument where someone presents a controversial claim, the Bailey, right? That is difficult to defend, and then challenged retreats to a defensible but less controversial claim, the Mott, right? So you're minimizing the claim, right? What actually happening in order to make it easier to defend the position of torturing a fully sentient, fully fledged, life-experiencing being in order to preserve the life of the maybe sentient, maybe able to feel pain, but definitely haven't experienced life yet, other being. So I think my position is more defensible when you state it the way I stated. And I think my position also comports to truth, to reality more, because Aussie man, maybe some women have like a really easy time like being pregnant and then giving birth. But most women who have had children will admit, even though they think they took it on, right, because they wanted the baby at the end, they would tell you that it's like comparable to torture. The suffering, the amount of suffering is crazy. Like I tell this, and I hope she doesn't mind. I tell this, I like visited like 3 years ago, whenever she was pregnant. I visited my friend, and she was 8 months pregnant at that point. And she was like dead in the eyes, suffering through all of it. She really, really wanted to be a mother, so she took it, right? And she now has like this amazing baby. Now she has 2. She even like repeated the thing. But like, imagine your organs are gonna be moved, and you're just gonna suffer for 2 months for something that you didn't consent to and you don't want to experience. Just torture, just fucking torture. That's it. Don't know what else to say. I'm like repeating myself. You're claiming that women choose abortions to avoid torture. That is a bit of a stretch. Well, what's your claim? I think this is also, again, just like we're really, really talking on the fringes, because like where I am, abortion is legal. You know, people should, they are going through like certain hurdles, but it's legal. And I actually had it was part of my job to read like abortion postmortems lately. So I had to go through like a list of a postmortem surgery, like, you know what I mean, an autopsy of fetuses of various ages, right? And usually the abortion here is legal. Usually the I don't want a child people, they abort early, very early in life, right? Like very early in the fetus's life, so like before 19 weeks. Because at 19 weeks you already like know you're pregnant. Before that, you know, you're pregnant. And the late term abortions are because the fetus, just like a child, I guess you can call it at that point, is no longer viable, has like horrific mutations, or is an incredible danger to the woman. So if we're talking about anything, the late term abortion for like, I don't want to have this child, are like maybe to rape victims. That's about fucking it. It's just like almost doesn't happen. So we're talking about something on the fringes, even like not worth discussing, especially not for the past like half an hour. I don't know what to tell you. Listen, again, this is not like a vegan position. This is my personal position as like a fully fledged human being with the ability to discuss morality, right? So I don't know, should we continue discussing it? I'm like already repeating myself 10 times. By the way, my pronouns are they, them. I would appreciate if you switched up your language right there, but that's okay. You didn't know, so up till now, so that's fine. So they understand my argument isn't really about abortions. It's about justification for taking life. Well, bro, I straight up admitted that there could be a justification to take a sentient life. It just needs to be huge. And I would say avoiding torture is a really good justification for taking a not fully developed, maybe sentient life. So, right there. Oh, I guess so. There's nothing happening there. Okay. No. I'm just gonna step out. I think we had a good run. We had like an almost 3-hour stream today. I'm trying to stretch out the outro for Pio. who's like, oh, you end your streams too fast. Well, what's your evidence for that? What's your how do you know this? How do you know that it's not torture? That when you don't want to be pregnant, to then go through that suffering, especially in 7, 8, like month 8 and month 9. What's your what's your argument for this? What's your experience? Like, where do you deriving this conclusion that pregnancy is not torture when you don't want it? Because I told you where I got it from, right? So all the biological movements that happen to a pregnant person, like their organs literally pushed aside. So like biologically, the changes crazy. The inability to move, the huge amount of pain that comes with month 8 and month 9. And the mental pain of just like going through this. Like, imagine somebody was doing a surgery on you when it's not in your best interest and you don't want to have it. Like, if tomorrow you walk into a doctor's office and the doctor is like, listen, you've got colon cancer and we're gonna cut it out. And you're saying, no, I don't want surgery. Prefer dying. The surgeon is not gonna cut you open for, like, your consent is gonna be considered to the point where nobody's gonna make you have the surgery, right? So what do you think pregnancy followed by surgery, most likely, right? Most births are C-section these days. Or maybe not most, but a lot of the births are C-sections. And even when it's not a C-section, a birth, I would say, is a surgery. It's done in a surgery room. The woman is cut open for it down there, if you know what I mean. So how did you like reach the conclusion that if you don't want this surgery and everything that precedes to it, all the suffering that precedes to it, that it's not torture? How would you even get to that conclusion? Well, that's silly. Ozzy, man, I hope you understand that this is not a serious answer. Well, you're so late, Martin, that I'm actually leaving. You think you've got me on the abortion thing? How did you reach that conclusion? I was incredibly explanatory. I explained my position to you. I backed it up with science. I backed it up with even anecdotal evidence, backed it up with biological evidence, with what happens to a pregnant person when they're like going through pregnancy and then got into surgery. And yet you got to the conclusion that you got me, meaning that you outsmarted me, or that my position is wavering in any kind of way. Really weird, Ozzy, man. I hope you reconsider making that claim. Truly. That's just strange. Holy shit, man. I'm just gonna ignore you for now, sorry. So, okay. I was gonna sign off, that's why. So, I'm so sorry. I'm going. Don't worry. I'm going. I'm signing off. I'm just like stretching it out because Ozzy man thinks he got me. Wow. I'm just like actually shocked that you gotta be pretty fucking delusional to get to that conclusion. Wow. That's motivated reasoning, isn't it? That's really deranged, frankly. All right, guys. I'm going. See you next time.